not on there.
It is on. It is on. Yeah.
The light didn't come up. This
The light
really
came
good.
on. Come on.
No, this light's really good.
Come on. You just like hearing yourself talk. You just want to be the first one to talk.
Maybe.
Welcome to
I'm
the
not
show.
the first one to talk.
This is Float Your Boat still because no one's giving me a better name.
Fine, we're going with it. But when this boat sinks, you're going down with it because you're the captain. So,
You know what? Yeah, I am running the boards. I am the captain.
There you go. Are you the band that's playing that won't stop and get on a lifeboat?
My name is Matt Santarelli. Joined with me, as always, is Zach Kane and our not-so-special guest anymore, Mike Dobbins, because this is the second time he's been here.
Yeah,
Well.
we're kind of bored of him now.
Yeah.
We need a new person to join us and spark
agree.
our relationship again. You were here, you know,
Guys
to
have a
We should
marital
just get a
problem?
full-blooded racist in here.
mix up the room. Why would we?
Why
want
would
that?
we? Why do you always start with something like that? Last week it was punching women in the face, and now it's
No,
this.
it wasn't just.
We're literally-
It
we're-
wasn't any woman in the face.
We're
It
literally
was
a
Hillary
minute-
Clinton's wife.
We are a
Who
minute
done
and a
told her.
half in.
You know what I want? I want a bear with like rabies, just chained right
You know
there.
this podcast
against
is
the
pretty
wall.
good. I think you should check it out. All right, I'll listen to it for like 2 minutes. And he's just like, oh well, nope.
You know what we should do? Throw anthrax in here. That way we have to rush through the podcast. Just put some extra thing to it.
How'd that joke go for you, Zach?
I don't know. It's flopped around. I was hoping one of you would save me. Honestly,
No,
it
we
was
were
really
content-
bad.
no,
I'll
We
give
were
it that.
content to watch it
It, wa-
burn.
it was like a car crash. You just look and you're just like, I know what's happening there. There's nothing I can do.
You just gotta.
You ever heard of a gawker delay?
No. Is that your segue?
No, that is actually a thing. Gawker delay is a thing where if there's a car crash, there's actually a delay because people stop and
like the
look.
bystander
But that can
effect.
be
Like the
yes,
bystander
but that
effect.
can
Okay.
be a
a decent-
segue.
I agree
It's a
with you.
decent
It's a decent
segue
segue.
right into our first topic. Mike, you want to?
How do I follow that up? That was just so brilliantly done. I feel
Yeah.
like whatever I bring to the table is going to be
Yeah.
awful. All right, well, I pretty much want to bring up Gawker. Gawker is closing down next week after like 14 years. If you remember, they had to declare bankruptcy and they sold out to Univision after the Hulk Hogan sex tape. And I don't know if you guys know about this, but there was actually a judge that told them before the lawsuit to take down the sex tape video, which was Hulk Hogan having sex with his friend's wife or something. And pretty much what ended up happening was the judge said take down the video, and he said no. Gawker pretty much said no. The very next day, they put out a headline after the judge told him not to that said, a judge told us to take down our Hulk Hogan sex tape post. We won't. They literally put that headline out the day after a judge told them to. So Hulk Hogan sued for $100 million, walked away with $115 million. The judge was just like, yeah, you're getting more than you want because of these guys. And yeah, so now they're like shutting down, and it kind of, I more want to segue into the topic of like privacy. Like, it's so weird how people were so angry about the whole like sex tape being released, but realistically, like people watched it. How can you complain about privacy if people are actually like watching it? You know what I mean? Because you look at stuff like the fappening, for instance, everyone talked about how that was a breach of privacy, right? But at the same time, how many people looked at the pictures? And
Everyone.
And how many of those people
me.
are still complaining?
No, don't even.
Not me.
You're absolutely full of crap.
I 100% did not immediately Google those photos when you heard they came
When you
out.
heard that Kate Upton was her photos were leaked, come on.
No.
Especially
Something else leaked
Ariana
a couple
Grande.
minutes later. But yeah, like I really want to say like how many people complained about the NSA and the Patriot Act and oh my privacy is being invaded, but then the second those videos come out, it's like oh they're not me, so it's okay. And it's just strange to me how people are so okay with a breach of privacy
When it's a celebrity.
when it's a celebrity, but if it's you, it's like whoa my privacy. And it's like, yeah, what people did in the fappening, the guy that released it was kind of a criminal act, and everyone was okay with it until, you know, everyone was okay with it, but then it happens to them, and they're like, oh my God, you know, some sort of wall's been broken here. And you see it all the time with like TMZ. Look at TMZ, for instance. TMZ is a company that is in business because they encourage people to invade people's privacy. People are out, celebrities are out and about, and TMZ encourages you, film these people, send it to us if something happens,
And you could call the journalist for it.
and we'll pay you for it. And it's like TMZ is only in business because people want to invade other people's privacy. I saw a picture earlier today of Rihanna sitting at a beach. She was sitting in the water at a beach, and there were people not 4 feet from her that were just taking her picture. She's at the beach by herself, minding her own business, wanting to get some sort of vacation or privacy, and she can't even get that because people are still just like, oh, let me film her because if something happens, I'm going to send this to TMZ. And I just think it's so strange how people constantly want to complain about privacy, but at the same time, it's like, oh, well, when it's not me, it's okay, you know?
Well, I think the same people that will make a gripe about privacy are the same people that'll tweet something and then have their location tagged or post something on Facebook or Instagram it or Snapchat it, and you can tell exactly where they are, or they'll say where they are, and then they're like, why do so many people know like where I am? Like it's crazy. It's like you have the ability to tell people where you are all the time, and you choose to do that, and then you complain that people know where you are. Like, I've seen videos where a guy who has no connection to a person, and he'll be able to tell 10 things about them, like where they work, where they are right now, like the name of their dog, things that somebody in their circle should know, but someone that just Googled their name once should have no idea. And they're like, oh my God, how'd you know? I was like, I don't know, because you posted it on like 9 different sites, and I figured it out.
If
Like
you just follow someone on Instagram, you can easily find out. Okay, do they just by looking at any girl's bio, you can tell if they're in a relationship because the date's there. Just by looking through their photos, through the first 10, you can find out easily who their friends are, what their parents look like, what their significant other looks like, everything, including their name. You can even probably find out their birthday because that's probably also in the bio. All this stuff is readily accessible, even on Twitter. Mm-hmm. There's the option to show your birthday.
I took that off. I don't do the that like.
I do because I want the attention.
You live here in New Jersey.
No, I take off the location services. I don't want that at all.
So
you don't need that. You don't need to know where I am and tweeting from. Anyone that cares about what I'm tweeting about knows where I'm tweeting from.
It is interesting though that like, is privacy something that's going to be going away? You know what I mean? Is privacy something that's a thing of the past now that we have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat? It's so weird that people will just tag themselves not at home. And it's like, you do know anyone that knows where you live now knows you're not home. If you're someone that they think that they know has money, what kind of thing is that? Oh, look, me and Bay are in Cabo this week. And it's like, okay, you mean you're gone from your house for a whole week and nobody's there? Okay. Yeah. And it's like, you look at the people who you're friends with on Facebook. Just go to your friends and look at it and say, how many of these people do I actually know? How many of these people have I actually even had a conversation with? Or how many of these people are people that just happen to know me because we may have went to the same school? Or
will I text individual and be like, I won't be home for a week? Send. I won't be home for a week.
Yeah.
Send. Like,
my whole contact list.
It's weird.
I call the place I normally order food from. Hey, I won't be home for a week. I'm not picking up my phone this time because I learned my lesson from last time.
Have you ever found some people on like Twitter where you look at their there's people on Twitter that tweet every like half hour for an entire day, and you look at their thing and you can tell exactly what they did for their entire day, where they were, what they did, and that's so weird to me that people can just not that people care, but not that people really care, but yeah, it's like, you just ruined me. I hope you know that. You started making like hand turning things,
turn the mic.
It's so weird because I was looking at Zach this whole time, and then I wanted to look at you, so I had to go over here, and then I wanted to talk to Zach again. I think I just gotta hold on.
Just put it right in the middle of your face.
Yeah,
because I got it like this now, so I can easily kind of turn.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do it like this.
Now I can turn down I can pot you down.
Just don't look straight at it and close your eyes.
What?
I don't know.
What was that? Was that a sex joke? That was pretty awful.
Because it's right in front of your face.
That was pretty awful.
Mine's to the side.
I shouldn't have even acknowledged that. I should have just let it sit in silence.
He was definitely making a black dick joke.
It's not even that big, so it couldn't be.
Dude, this is like, I don't know, how big is this?
I thought I was going to be the bad one. I thought I was going to be the bad one.
I'm glad you made that face for that.
I thought I was going to be the one to make all these jokes. I'm just sitting back and I'm just like, okay.
We don't need two guys like that. Somebody's going to actually push the story along.
No, yeah. But that's pretty much all I wanted to really get at was like Donald Sterling. The whole Donald Sterling thing was everyone, the saying used to be, what this person does in their own house is their business. What the person does within their own four walls is their business. It's not out in public.
As long as it's not dangerous.
Yeah,
I
but
will
yeah.
quantify
If
it,
they're
qualify it.
if they're skinning dogs, yeah, that's kind of a problem, Michael Vick.
Uh-huh.
But
He wasn't skinning them. He was just letting them die and then setting them on fire.
he was just letting their pelts go to waste, I guess.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, but like he was recorded without his knowledge by while he was drunk saying stupid things. And it's like, how many things have you said stupid around your friends or people you trust, and you just trust that it's not being recorded? Can you imagine if it was being recorded and you were someone of high caliber?
Nick Young being recorded by his own teammate,
Yeah.
and then it posted. Like, no one's saying what Nick Young did wasn't like disgusting
Yeah.
and ridiculous. But for your own guy that's on your team to record you and act like it's nothing, it's a breach of trust, because like, I work with this guy.
And I mean, let's be honest. Donald Sterling to me was kind of an ass, but it's like, I don't think you should lose your team because you're being an ass. You know what I mean? Like that sets a horrible precedent, because how many other owners, when they voted
Jim
to
Irsay.
how many other owners, when they voted to kick him out, because the owners voted to kick him out, how
Yeah.
many other owners had to stop and think to themselves, like, what have I ever done anything? Have I ever said stupid stuff? Am I setting a precedent where if I'm recorded, I might lose my team now?
I'm sure a lot of them did, and sort of like Mark Cuban said, he was like, if we all got recorded, we'd all sound like lunatics. If everything we said got printed, every text message we had got sent out, and how there's that like nighttime racism to survive, where you just no matter what the person is, you assume the worst of everyone.
Yeah.
And you're going like, yeah, this guy could kill me, this guy could strangle me. You just want to make it back home. That's it. But as far as the debate's concerned, we have to distance ourselves from this guy, because 90% of the employees that matter, the actual players, are black.
Yeah.
And you can't have someone that says or thinks these things being their boss of a franchise.
Yeah, I understand that, but there's a way, I think, of distancing yourself and kind of. I would have rather had them like back him into a corner essentially, rather than just rip his team from him.
He got like $2 billion from it, so that's
Yeah.
not
I'm
like
not. I'm
he-
not saying he made out bad. The guy was towards the end, but you look at like he. I would have rather had them do something like, we don't support what he did. It was awful what he said. It doesn't represent the Clippers or the NBA or whatever, and just leave it at that. Otherwise, like leave it at that. Because what do you want the NBA to do? Are people honestly going to say rip his team from him because he was recorded in private?
Well, that's what happens.
Yeah, but
You lose your
that's crazy to
job
me. That's crazy to me. There's so many.
I mean, that's the whole thing with Alec Baldwin too, with his kids. I don't even know if you guys
Yes.
mentioned that, because to be honest, I've been paying attention to all this and kind of letting you guys go. But the whole Alec Baldwin with his daughter and his wife, while he was just smashed on Christmas or something, his daughter recorded him, sent it to his wife, and his wife obviously sold it to TMZ or whatever, as you were saying earlier, and he lost a lot because of it.
Yeah, and well, Alec Baldwin's always been one that kind of hates the media. Like, he would be one of those guys that would be walking down the street with his daughter or whoever, and when the paparazzi come up to him, he would completely lose it on them. And I don't blame him, because he is a celebrity. His kids aren't. I don't think you become a celebrity because you are the offspring of a famous person.
Unless you're Jaden Smith.
Thank you. I was just gonna say
But
that.
but the difference is Jaden Smith wants it. There are people who don't want the fame. If you're someone's kid and you're just walking to, there were kids that were being walked to school in New York, celebrities walking their kids to school, like a parent does, and the paparazzi's out just swarming them, taking let's see a picture of their new kid or whatever, and it's just like, they're not celebrities. Leave them alone. Like, if they want that type of fame, because there are celebrities that go out there because they get filmed.
Yeah.
They go out and they're celebrities that will flat out just call up TMZ and just be like, oh, hey, I'm going to be here. And then TMZ just shows up like, oh, you happen to catch me. And it's like, no, you kind of told them the exact coordinates of where you were going to be.
We're going to be at
23:97.
2397.77 by whatever the other number is.
Latitude.
Yeah. I don't know. I think 23 might be somewhere like in South
Wisconsin.
America, but Wisconsin, Jesus.
Yeah, sure.
It goes
What
by
you
like
have?
tens up.
I'm going to
starting at
Wisconsin.
0.
That's my final answer.
And you're wrong. You failed. You
oh.
failed the quiz.
More Family Feud. I was bored. She's got one X.
Give me a 4-letter word that rhymes with ick.
Oh, how are you gonna say
Oh,
that?
how you gonna say that? How you gonna say this is TV? Oh, you need Jesus.
My favorite one from that had to have been what's something that has pork in it? Cupine.
Porcupine?
Porcupine. Guess what was up there?
Porcupine.
That is hilarious.
Or when they're hitting the button at the beginning and there's this African American gentleman and this I don't know, mole rat looking guy over here. That's honestly
I love how he was classy with the African American and then just goes, and then this scrub over here.
no, because he looked like a fine, upstanding gentleman in a suit.
Are you
and
a
this guy-
politician? What are you doing?
I know.
I'm gaining voters.
What is he doing?
Gaining voters. But this guy over here,
I'm sure he had a job. He probably had a college
I like
degree.
hot sauce too.
You like chicken? I made it semi-racist, but
Oh yeah,
whatever.
I was making a Hillary Clinton reference, and
Oh.
you just took it and ran and
Yes, I did.
Ran to the Donald Trump toy.
You
he
see
ran it back.
You see that tree over there? I drove real fast into it. But no, because the guy, honestly, I'm going to find the clip and show it to you guys because he literally looks like the naked mole rat from Kim Possible. But he hits the button, and because it was if you're entering a house, what is the one thing you don't want to see? He hits the button and he screams, "Naked grandma!" And everyone just is silent for 5 seconds. And then the guy just looks at him and goes, "I wouldn't want to see that either." And they look up and it's not there, but I don't know.
That's got to be horrible when you give a weird answer and it's not there, and you're like, I'm the only one that thought that.
Oh, it was something about dating, person you wouldn't want to date, and some guy said sister, and it was not there, and it's just okay, let's move on to the next guy.
What, it was dating and
Someone you would not want to date, and someone was like, "Oh, your sister."
would not want to date. I would think that would be up there.
I
That's
would think
a
that's
good
a good
answer. Would not want to
Would
date.
not want to date.
Yeah, but still, why? Who answers that?
Because you go to the worst of the worst. You say, all right, there are people that are awful that I would not want to date, and then you
Like
go,
Ann Coulter.
yeah. Staying topical, Matt. Staying topical. But yeah, you would think mom, grandmom, sister. You want to pick people where it would be off. I guess it also depends where they did the survey, because there's a couple states where.
Well, that's normal. What are you guys talking about? She's right there. Where am I supposed to go?
Go down to the farmer's market, buddy.
You can laugh all you want, but guess what? Well, none of us have to change our last names on our papers.
Oh my God.
I'm saving gas mileage. I know what food she likes. What do you want me to do? Okay.
That was a beautiful just stretch off topic right there.
Oh, yeah, well,
It's
that's
all right.
how it's done.
That is how it's done.
Whatever floats your boat. Hey.
Plug. Please subscribe.
How do you can't plug your own show on the show? That's not how
We
it
just
works.
did.
Yeah, but you don't see Sprite plugging Sprite during a Sprite commercial.
Yeah, true, but okay, you definitely see movies plugging their own movies
Well,
during the
movie.
movie.
Yeah, so Sprite advertisements, Olympics, go.
Sprite. It's
He gives you a beautiful gawker
I wanted to
reaction.
go off the Donald Sterling thing, but I couldn't. I was trying to segue Donald Sterling into sports into Olympics.
So we were
Okay, then I got one.
so we weren't
Olympic
even gonna
segue in 3, 2.
wait.
Olympic coverage.
Olympic coverage. That was
That was
beautiful segue.
Beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
Boo!
They're loving it.
Boo! If we know
Oh, that
anything,
was really short. I was super depressed about
if
that.
we know anything about these Olympic crowds, should be booing them. But
No, but
it's a whole nother
actually, it's
topic.
not even where we're gonna go. But we can skip over the other one and just keep going. Whatever. So, one of the topics that I wanted to really talk about, just because I've been seeing it a lot lately, has been the apparent rampant sexism and racism in the Olympics. I mean, one of them's the easy one where they absolutely attacked Gabby Douglas for not showing enough patriotism during the Star Spangled Banner. But Ryan Lochte, he's just a kid. He's just a kid that made a mistake. This kid is 32, by the way. and he made a mistake, and he didn't mean to urinate in the public bathroom and then try to fight a security guard in a foreign country. He just did what kids do.
Locked up abroad. The Ryan Lochte edition.
Except he's home.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's like the did you see the article some newspaper printed after some black girl won a gold medal, and instead of just calling her by her name, they put down like pretty much just like, oh, black wins the gold medal, and it's like, all right.
That's different. That's racism. But also, but there has not been as much racism. Seems to be more sexism. But at the same time, I don't really know how that really applies, because the one thing that I kept saying was Katie Ledecky. Katie Ledecky has been one of the best swimmers, and of course now we're all amazing experts on swimmers once the Olympics come around, because Michael Phelps. They called her the Michael Phelps of women swimming. How is that bad? Comparing.
That's not bad, but when you see headlines that say like Michael Phelps wins silver, and then Ledecky wins like third gold medal is like underneath it. Or I saw another headline that says
That's different, yes.
Bears offensive lineman, the
That-
wife of
yes,
Bears
that's
offensive
different.
lineman wins like medal in some event. And I'm like, yeah, I understand that, because I saw someone do like a spoof of that, and it was like 2007 Miss Universe's husband wins his 8th gold medal, and you're like, okay, I get it. Like, that sounds stupid and beats around the point. Like, just say the person's name. Like, we don't need their spouse thrown into it. Like, their
Yeah.
spouse didn't do shit.
But
to win
when
the medal.
like
They did.
when people when you're like knocking a comparison to another great athlete in your sport, it doesn't matter that that's male. That's what I'm going with. It doesn't matter that just because the greatest athlete in your field is a male and you're being compared to that athlete, that should be a badge of honor. If someone goes like, "Oh, this girl plays the game like Wayne Gretzky," I would not be like, "Oh yeah, that's sexism." I would be like, "No, she's freaking talented as hell."
I'm sorry, I kind of forget what you said. Was her name actually in the article, or was it like the female Michael Phelps?
No, her name was Katie Ledecky, and they compared her on live air like this is the Michael Phelps of women's swimming.
Oh, then that's fine to me. 'Cause
Thank
they
you.
said her name.
Yes.
Like, my whole thing is just say the athlete's name. If we're talking about
No,
the
yeah,
athlete,
I understand
say their
that.
name.
If they were like, if they said the woman of the woman Michael Phelps wins like
Yeah.
4th gold medal, that's different.
Yeah.
That is the crazy sexism. But the whole Gabby Douglas is getting trashed because she's a black woman and not putting enough patriotism into the Star Spangled
She's
Banner.
winning gold for the United
That's-
States. What more do you have
That's
to do?
kind of what I was going with when they listed like black woman, was that they're not giving them names, they're giving them traits.
I mean, they're calling her they're
noticeable
calling her
things.
name Gabby Douglas in the articles, but like they're destroying her because she didn't put her hand over her heart for the Star Spangled
Yeah,
Banner.
I think that definitely is not only sexism. I think it is a form of just racism, because if it like you said, the difference between her and Ryan Lochte isn't just that one's a man, one's a woman. It's also that one's a white guy, one's a black woman. And it's just like, okay.
And also age too. Age is huge.
Yeah.
Exactly.
19 or
If
She's
any-
like 18 or 19. He's 32 and
if
being called a
any-
kid.
Yeah, if anything, she's the one that you could say, oh, she's a kid, doesn't know any better. You could use that excuse, kind of. I mean, if you wanted to. But you can't use it for Ryan Lochte's, what, 33, 32,
Guys
33,
been doing
something like that?
taxes for a
32
while.
years old.
Yeah, he hasn't
been
been,
doing taxes
he
for a
hasn't
while.
he hasn't been 18 in a long time. It's enough to stop calling him a kid.
I'm 22 years old now. I'm not a kid anymore. I'm an adult. I am an adult with a kid mentality. That doesn't change anything. But like people like younger than me are gonna call what?
Is Pokemon Go still on your phone?
It is.
Okay.
It is. That's why I said I'm an adult with kid mentality. You can get over yourself. Get off your high horse.
It's not a high
All right.
horse, it's just Pokemon
Get
Go.
off your high horse, guy that bought like $50 worth of Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
All right.
Yeah.
Is
you
this
did
a
too.
roast battle?
This is not a roast battle.
Am I
It's
just
not
sitting in
becoming
on
a
a roast battle right
Yeah,
now?
there you go.
All right, so you can't. All right.
You did too, but okay.
I didn't buy as much as you did.
You bought some too, but
I
don't
did
play
buy some.
Pokemon Go and go around to
You gonna go somewhere? You
no,
gonna
it
go
was,
somewhere?
this is
Hi,
gonna end up
Pot.
just trashing
I'm
one
Kettle.
another.
You're black.
This is gonna end up trashing each other. No.
That's an actual term. Don't even make.
Max like, oh shit. What am I walking into?
No, that's an actual term.
Every time I think you can't hit any lower, you just prove me wrong. You just hit another iceberg.
That one I couldn't avoid though.
But yeah, I mean, going back to the whole Olympics, racism, sexism, it's all just about people using their subtle, prejudices and stuff like that, and ways of discriminating them to come off as not being that way. Like, instead of just looking at what she did, Gabby Douglas, like, because let's be realistic. What do you mean she wasn't patriotic enough? What do you want her to do?
They want her to be singing the national anthem with her hand over her heart and crying.
Do you know how many people I saw sing the national anthem during it? I saw quite a bit, but everyone didn't do it. If we won gold medal in water polo, they weren't all just for the land with their hands on their chest with a baritone voice and a suit on. They're not like, who cares?
Yeah, they're competing in the company's name and the country's name, and winning
It's a
gold
country,
medals.
not a company.
Yeah,
I said country.
They're winning gold medal. Like, who cares? I don't care. If you see people from these other countries, some of them don't sing along. They put their hands on their heart and or whatever they do, and they just listen to the national anthem. That's all you expect them to do. She won gold medal. She already did her job. Yeah. Her job, as far as I'm concerned, is done. She just has to stand on that podium, get the thing put around her neck, pretend to shake hands with the other two people who lost while secretly thinking, suckers. And then go home, and then you're done. You've already won the gold medal. You've already honored your country. I feel like your thing's done. You're not, burning an American flag on the podium. There's nothing bad about it.
It's just something to critique because
we all want something.
There always needs to be controversy.
Yeah, you're just some guy that like hasn't accomplished what they've accomplished. So you're like, oh look, if I was up there, I would have been more patriotic than she is. It's like, she has a suit that's made out of a flag that she's wearing right now. What more could she possibly do to be more patriotic?
Well,
Are you kidding me?
The whole Brazil thing, everyone's making a big deal about it, about what's going to happen, Zika, and But from what I've heard, all the athletes, all the fans from other countries, they've all said it's fine. They're like, you come here and then you read about what's online and you think they're at two different Olympics, because people online who aren't there are like, oh, it's horrible, it's a tragedy, and then people who are actually there look at it and just go like, yeah, it's actually pretty cool here. I'm actually enjoying my time here.
When you get there, here's your beast suit, and here's your tennis racket to fight off the swarm of mosquitoes.
Yeah.
All right, so
to get back
I found a article on cosmopolitan.com, so we all know how well researched this one was.
Did you click on your bookmarks for that one?
I did. It's one of my saved bookmarks. I love their makeup tips. That's my favorite one.
Oh God.
Anyway. They have a list of the top 14 of the most sexist moments for the Olympics so far. Some of these are 100% sexist, but the other ones, this one, it's borders on both, where Katinka Hozu is a Hungarian swimmer, and she crushed the world record for 400 meters and won the gold in swimming. And they said, and her husband and coach was the person responsible for her performance. I mean, that's both sexist, but at the same time, that's also her coach. So he's the one helping train her. At the same time, yes, that I would assume, yes, she's not getting enough credit for doing the swimming.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can't also say like, he deserves no credit for helping her.
That's just
train.
one article though about it. Like if you were to Google her thing, would her husband coach come all the time, or is it like 9 articles that credit her and then 1 that credits the coach?
It's probably, that was just something that was said by NBC during the Olympics. And you mentioned this also earlier off the air. I guess we're going to call this. Just saying that NBC's coverage of the Olympics has been very lackluster.
Yeah. Well, like you say that like people would know, the coach does deserve some credit, but how many times have you seen a Michael Phelps race or whatever? Is it a race?
It's a race.
Yeah. And
they're not comparing. They're not saying.
They're not talking about his coach.
No, they're
no
not.
one talks about his coach. So
that
it's
is very true.
So it's like you're taking her accomplishments and being like, okay, it's on the back of the coach. Yes, we know it's on the back of the coach. The coach is getting paid by the country. The coach assisted in this. You can mention him by name, but if you're gonna do that, do it with everyone else as well.
I'll say I watched most of the NBA, the USA basketball teams, and a majority of the time they credit Mike Krzyzewski. And I mean, for them, no one has a problem with it because it's a little bit different because it's a big team, and in a short amount of time, you have to get a lot of guys that are all very good and have high confidence in their abilities to work together and mesh.
I've also seen
And there's some turnover because the team only has like maybe 3 players that were on the last Olympic team.
Melo, Durant, and who?
I think Kyle Lowry. Yeah, Kyle Lowry. I think it's Melo, Durant, Kyle Lowry. And then everybody else is under like 25, 26, something like that.
Yeah, that's
And they're all coming
and
together.
and again, they always seem to be able to do well just because USA's better than everyone else
Yeah.
at basketball.
Like Mike Krzyzewski is kind of like a legend. So when you look at that, they're going to mention him by name. Whereas if Michael Phelps goes on to, let's say he goes on to coach later on, they're definitely going to mention him. If he's coaching like an Olympic person, they're definitely going to mention it's him because it's Michael Phelps. He's a high-profile guy.
No matter what
Yeah, that's what I think.
gender he's coaching.
If Mike Krzyzewski was just some USA wouldn't do this, but let's just say it's some high school coach or something that they bring on, no one's going to mention him by name. They'll make,
Unless he's won 4 gold medals.
yeah, they'll
and
mention it in
Has
like
a 72-0 streak going.
yeah, they'll mention it in like passing, but they won't give as much credit to him. And I think they're giving him a lot of credit because this team isn't what it should be.
No.
A lot of players dropped out. A lot of players were given the chance to pretty much blow these teams out of the water, and they're winning by 3, 4, 5 points every game because they just don't have the team that they should have. And I think that's why they're giving him a lot of credit. They're saying he's taking. Don't get me wrong; these guys are still all stars. They're still amazing first team players, but compared to who they could have, LeBron, guys like that.
He doesn't have his hands tied behind his back. He's got like an extra arm, basically, because he's got far more talent than anyone in this Olympic basketball.
He also has
tournament.
more talent around him as like coaching staff
Yeah.
wise. He's got Greg Popovich as an assistant coach.
Normally, he'd have about 12 extra arms, and
Yeah.
he'd be completely unstoppable. But he actually won't be coaching the next team.
Are they giving it to Popovich?
Yeah.
Oh,
How
you're
old is
taking such a
Popovich?
step down.
I know. I know.
How old is Popovich? I thought he was pretty
60s.
Yeah, he's like 65.
old. Oh, really? I thought he was older than that.
He looks older than that when he grows out that beard.
Which to me, it's kind of strange because I definitely want to get back to Olympics just for 1 second. Jerry Colangelo, the father of the Sixers GM, can't communicate with the Sixers that much, even though he's like an assistant president in charge of like player management or whatever, because he has strong ties to the Olympic team. So to me, how are they going to validate the head coach of the Spurs also coaching the Olympic team? Like, that's not going to give him some unfair advantage in communication with players. So is he going to retire from being the Spurs coach by the time the next Olympic comes around? So I don't understand how they're going to work that after they just told Jerry Colangelo that he can't talk to the Sixers and be involved with the Olympic team as much, because that gives the Sixers an unfair advantage and possible free agency.
Yeah,
But having a bunch of players all from different teams, me able to say like, "Hey, why don't you come to my team?" That's not unfair
My team
either.
has won 50 games for the past like 22 years.
Maybe you want to come play with
Yeah.
us, but
Yeah.
no, but you get like Draymond and Harrison Barnes and Klay Thompson on the same team, talking to Durant. Obviously, he's already on the team, but they were training for the Olympics well before then. So yeah, that could have played a part, but that's completely fair.
That's players. To me, that's different. That's players. I mean,
It also is an unfair advantage if you want to do it that way
no,
too.
because it's players. It's free agency. The point of free agency was to move around. It's lame. I don't agree with what Durant did, but he's allowed to
Yeah,
do it.
we had a whole little
We did.
we had a whole
It's-
45-minute rant about
It's
that.
lame, and to me, it's kind of soft, but whatever. He
But
did
the,
it.
the,
I
the,
don't-
the strangest thing that I saw about the Team USA Olympics things is the next Olympics aren't for 4 years. So there are guys that are passing it up. Obviously, there's guys that will be invited in 4 years. LeBron, KD, all those guys will
LeBron,
come back.
even at 36, will
But
probably still get invited.
There are guys that are turning it down that you're like, yeah, you're kind of fringe. You could go up or down in 4 years.
Yeah,
like,
that's 4 drafts. or
yeah,
someone
that's
could
a
sneak in.
long time for someone like I mean, for what it's worth, I think Steph Curry is going to be invited in 4 years.
Steph Curry turned it down though, right?
Yeah, but that's my point, is that who knows what happens in 4 years? Who knows that someone else doesn't come out of the draft? And 4 years is a long time. Someone who got drafted this year or maybe last year just bursts, becomes 10 times better than Steph Curry. I don't know how that would
I
be.
mean,
but-
Brandon Ingram could turn into something. Jaylen Brown could turn into something.
And then
There's
next
all these
Olympics
different
come
players.
around, and Steph Curry's like, all right, I feel a little bit more comfortable going to this place, and I want. And there's
We
like,
got a guy.
Steph, you're like 14th. We don't know how to fit you in. you can find a way of fitting in.
Yeah, in
with
4 years, we
11
don't know
guys.
how good he's going to be. He's probably still going to be as good. Who
Yeah,
am
yeah.
kidding, but-
Don't get me wrong. I think he's still going to be a top athlete. But how many guys were invited and turned it down?
Talk to John on the way out. He'll tell you. You get our card. We'll call you. Don't call us.
So, to get back to the Olympic sexism stuff, there was Katie Ledecky by Ryan Lochte, of all people, saying she swims like a guy because she has a very powerful stroke that is modeled after Michael Phelps. So, yeah, that's I guess, kind of sexist. But when you're beating guys in races, again, that's another thing where I feel like Ryan Lochte's trying to be nice, but it just comes off on the wrong spectrum.
Ryan Lochte doesn't come across as that intelligent anyway.
No, he doesn't.
Like-
He had a reality TV show.
Was it
too.
him?
Ryan Lochte's the one that said she's.
No, I'm
She's
saying was it his reality TV
Yeah,
show?
it was his reality TV show.
I thought it was someone with the last name Leaf for some reason, but whatever.
Ryan Leaf. No, he failed pretty much the
No,
second
not-
he walked in
Lock-
the NFL.
Lochte abroad.
No.
Damn it! Why did I?
Damn it. All right, you win this one. And then there's obviously the Corey Cogdale Unreen, the referred to as wife of a Bears lineman. Yeah, that was messed up. Chicago Tribune, you kind of screwed that one up.
I don't know. I think he gets credit for happening to get married to someone that went on to accomplish something. I think we need to mention that.
Yeah.
I mean, we call Holly Mangold Holly Mangold. We don't say Nick Mangold's.
Can you imagine they did it during like the Academy Awards?
They probably
Academy
say
Award goes to Robert Downey Jr. Oh, and his wife. She's going on stage, and you're like, wait, what?
Holly Mangold, even though you could probably just shave Nick Mangold and say, hey, go be Holly real quick. 'Cause
Sorry. She's pretty big.
no, I'm saying that they look exactly like
Well, they're both large though.
they are. She could crush me. I'm going to stop trash talking her.
Yeah.
She could actually murder
I won't
me.
trash talk anyone that can crush me. But like we
She
were talking
scares
about,
me.
like me and Zach were talking about like Steven Adams, and Steven
Oh
Adams.
my God.
Steven Adams'
His
sister.
sister.
His sister could punch a hole through my face.
Her sister's like an Olympic lifter. or
Wait, was that
something.
the person you guys sent pictures of?
Yeah.
No, that was something else.
Oh, okay.
No,
His
no, I
sister.
thought that was her.
That was something else. That was something else that I don't want to talk about. That's completely something different.
Oh well, now you regret bringing it up, man. Because now I don't know what's going on here.
No, that was something else. Yeah, it was when you were like complaining about Steven Adams. I googled him, and it said like he doesn't get haircuts because they cost too much. Yet he has like a $3 million contract. I'm like, how do you complain about haircuts?
He might have didn't he come from like a big family that money might have been really tight to the point where that's just kind of something that he does. Because when you have what was it? He has like 12 brothers and sisters or something like that.
And they're all 7 feet tall.
But it's like you can imagine in a family like that, there's probably some sort of problem, just some sort of money. So maybe he sees that and he goes $60 for a haircut, not worth
Okay,
it.
I don't know, get a $20 haircut.
Huh?
Get a $20 haircut.
Yeah, yeah.
You can go down
you
to
could,
you can
or-
go down to what is it, that place by us and get it for $8.
That could be something he's always done though. You know, from when he was younger, his parents were just like,
Get $60 haircuts when you were poor. I think that would be maybe that's why you're poor because you're going around and getting $60 haircuts.
maybe his
How about you slice that in half a little bit?
maybe his hair is just really really thick and they need like diamond shears to cut it.
All right, to then I'm just gonna roll through the rest of these real quick. The heinous Fox News panelists, drop my phone, debating whether female Olympians should wear makeup.
Is that?
That was apparently a real thing by Fox News.
I thought that was gonna be your thing. I was gonna be like, no.
What?
Your
What? What are you talking about?
headlines.
Oh no, we're not.
That I'm like, come on.
We're not going there
What?
yet.
No, that's real. British viewers are being outraged by commentator Helen Skelton's dress. I don't know if you saw it. It was just a midi dress. It was just like, it came up to like the middle of her thigh. It was a nice dress. She's an attractive looking woman, but this is also the person that had naked pictures of her leaked during the Olympics when she was allegedly 17 years old. So this goes back into your privacy thing where,
And crime.
and yeah, crime. So she's allegedly, the picture allegedly taken in like 1999 when she was 17 or whatever. I can't remember if it was 99 or whatever. But she was allegedly 17 when all the pictures were taken based on math, going back from when they were supposedly taken to now. But I don't know.
I don't get the whole nudes thing. If you're gonna take nudes, keep your face out of it. Like, just stop. No one has to identify that it's you. Just keep your face out of it. Therefore, you always have plausible deniability.
Yes.
That's not me.
This one I do not agree with. BBC commentator calling the women's judo final a catfight. That one, it's too.
That's a rough one.
Oh no.
The only reason I will defending calling it a catfight is because if you had two guys in a heated battle, they call it a dogfight. Because guys are when you have two guys fighting, it's a dogfight. When you have two girls fighting, I turned down something. When you have two girls fighting, they call it a catfight. That's the only reason that I would even try. That's the only defense I could make for it.
Yeah, I guess you have to.
I would just let him wallow in that. Don't try and defend it.
Yeah.
Let BBC sit on that one.
Make him dig his way out. Don't help him.
So I'm not even going to go to that one. Apparently, the NBC wouldn't stream anything live. Oh, Dana Vollmer, apparently, because she just had a child. She was an Olympic. She won a bronze on the 100-meter butterfly and silver in the 4x100-meter free. 17 months after giving birth to her son. That's over a year ago.
Yeah,
she gave birth to a kid. That. If it was like 3 months ago, then yeah, you can go like, wow, that's incredible. But 17 months, it's a year and a half ago.
Yeah. I don't see it. I don't see it as that big of a deal. But at the same time, you hear it all the time when it's like, oh, he came back from, really torn hamstring and ACL injury and stuff like that. And yeah, it's not as severe as giving birth. Giving birth is more common than that kind of stuff. But at the same time, you hear it all the time. Oh, 2 years ago, he thought his career was over. He did his ACL because. Many athletes retire after they have kids, many female athletes. They have kids. You see it in the WNBA all the time. They have kids, and then they're just like, I'm done. Same thing in soccer. Once they start a family is when they're like, all right, I can't really travel anymore. I'm done. So I think that one's a little bit different because, you're noticing the fact that she's a woman and can have children and did. But I don't think it's that big.
I think it's more like your thing when you're talking about injuries.
But like you're focusing on it. That was my whole thing.
Yeah, but I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think it's more to like make a story to like make what she's doing more compelling. Because when you're bringing up that injury, you're like, look how he came back.
Like when Adrian Peterson came back from that ACL.
Look how he came back
Arthur.
from it and was amazing. Like I don't think it has anything to do with that. It's more about like this great triumph that this athlete
It's to
had,
get people
and
to read your article. That's all. It's kind of like the ESPN 30 for 30. You never see a 30 for 30 where it's just like, oh, he was projected to be good, and he was.
Yeah.
On tomorrow's 30 for 30. You're
Yeah.
like, no, it's got to be overcoming something for page views. If you just write, oh, she wins gold, silver and bronze, it's like, okay, cool. I can read that headline, and I get all the information that I need. I don't need to read the article. But if you put after having birth, you're like, okay, let me take a look at this, see what happens. Now, in the article, they probably mentioned that it was 17 months later. I don't think they mentioned that in the headline.
Have you ever seen the Believeland 30 for 30?
No.
Where it was initially sad.
Yeah.
And they were like, the city of Cleveland had its river on fire at one time for like 3 hours. And then it talked about how they would get to the World Series and then lose. And how every sport had some drive or some shot that was iconic for the opposing team. But for them, it just lived in their hall of infamy.
Yeah.
And then there was the alternate ending, post-2016 NBA Finals. And it was actually happy. Like it went from having a completely sad, depressing ending to LeBron leaving and then actually coming back to then finally winning a championship.
And doing it in probably one of the best fashions.
Yeah, it was awesome. And speaking of winning a championship, the gold medal game for men's basketball is tomorrow at, I think, 2:30.
They playing Serbia?
Yes. And
See, Serbia was up by like 20 when I saw it.
Klay Thompson, when asked how they need to handle this game, he said, we got to treat it like a Game 7. I'm like, oh, Klay.
You can't treat it like a
Please do
Game
not
7.
treat it like a Game 7.
Especially if Steph Curry wasn't there. If Steph Curry was there, you guys definitely shouldn't. Draymond Green can treat it like Game 7.
All that means is Draymond Green's going to get like 12 threes. And Serbia's just going to be like, I don't even know what to do right now.
He's not supposed to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Just pointing fingers and getting angry. So we've pretty much exhausted this SJW sexism, racism thing. To continue with our theme of the Olympics, you had a fun little offshoot topic that we can jump
something
into.
lighthearted that doesn't have people go crazy.
And have all
it'll
the
still
hate
probably
comments.
spark debate because I'm sure someone would think, oh my god, no, he wouldn't do that. If you guys could see one superhero or supervillain, I wanted to extend it to be all inclusive. to see compete in an Olympic event, who would you like to see in each event that you can think of?
So we're just gonna pretty much rapid fire.
Winter and summer.
We're just pretty much gonna rapid fire all this stuff, correct?
You
all right,
really
talk
are
about it.
a grown man trapped in a child's body.
Sure, why not?
Hey, it's Olympic-ish.
Oh no, I like the topic. I just can't help but look at Zach and see you two were arguing about who's more childish, and
This is my
and then he
topic.
brings up, he's like, "Don't you still have Pokemon Go on your phone?" Now about this superhero Olympics thing.
We need it to happen.
All
Yeah.
right. So honestly, first one that came to my mind when you brought up this topic in pre-production.
Mhm.
That's not even a term. It's a
It's
term for
not.
something else
It's
that has to
not
do
what
with
we're doing.
editing. But in our little group chat here that we have before
Yeah.
the show,
Our officially encrypted group chat.
that isn't just an iMessage.
No.
No. Well,
It's encrypted.
yeah.
My phone's locked. Is your phone locked?
No. My phone's open right now.
Does your phone have a lock on it?
Yeah.
My phone has a lock
Well,
on it.
sometimes it's messing.
Yeah.
And we're encrypted.
we're
then.
encrypted
We're
then.
completely safe. No one can break in.
No,
All
my,
right.
My passcode's pretty simple.
Yeah. Mine's my fingerprint.
Yeah. Cut off my finger, you get whatever you want.
Either one of my thumbs, you can have whatever you want on there. Nothing else is protected.
I'll unlock it for you. I got nothing to hide. I don't care.
Well, okay, like the 100-meter dash is easy, right?
100 yeah, Flash.
Yeah.
No,
Any
I
speed
would go.
stuff.
I would go Superman.
No, the Flash would be.
I would go Superman.
Why is he gonna trip him? The Flash would beat him.
No, it's just because Superman's the most BS character ever. He can literally do anything and everything he wants. So they will just write it and it'll just be canon. Like, oh, hey, he's faster than the Flash now. Yep, there we go.
And
That's what they do with
"Yes."
Superman.
Yeah, he does get beefed up all the time, every like 5 years. If someone thinks of a new hero with a power, Superman has it.
Yeah.
That's true.
I'm still going with Flash, 100-meter dash. But I'm
Right.
also gymnastics, easily, I'm going Spider-Man.
Like, just speaking of Superman's beef up, get back to it in a second. Did you know he's like telekinetic now too?
Really?
Yeah, because he doesn't have enough powers.
So when you say telekinetic, you mean he can move stuff with his mind?
Yeah,
Come on, son.
it's.
Why do you need to
it's
do
dumb.
that when you have those powers? Why do you need to do that?
Because he didn't have it before, and now he needs it. That's why.
Nobody needs to be telekinetic outside of like Jedis or some crap like that.
He absolutely is. Do you remember the South Park episode where Cartman, they were playing, I think it was like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Oh no, they were playing ninjas. My bad. They have so many like costume episodes. They were playing ninjas, and Kyle had like a power, and Aaron was like, "Oh yeah, I can do that too now." He said, no, you can't. Like stop taking everybody else's powers.
That's literally Superman.
Yeah, so you can be the strongest guy out here. It's annoying. You're already super tough. But what would you say?
Spider-Man gymnastics.
Yes. Okay.
Especially like floor exercise, balance beam especially. The guy jumps from like 50 stories up and lands on like a light post.
Swimming, Aquaman. You got that down. That's
The Hulk would be shot put. You just have to call him a bitch beforehand. That's it. That's it. That's his coach's pep talk. And just so you know, Bruce, you're a bitch. What'd you say?
Chucks it out of
Throws
the
a
arena.
shot put around the world. It hits him in the back of the head.
I mean, to go into the supervillain category, I mean, shot put, I could also go Magneto.
Ooh.
I feel like he'd just be like, oh, you threw it that far and just
Stop
help,
it.
just
No, just
stop
stop
it
it.
and then just push it. No, lets it go as far as he can and then just puts his like an inch in front.
Now,
I win.
Now, are there still rules in place?
There
so
could
you can't interfere with
Because
someone
I think,
else's,
yeah, because I
like-
think there's a rule for that. I don't think you could run out and grab the shot put and scream no.
just walks up and bats it away. No, not today.
Yeah, I think rules should still somewhat be in place, which might eliminate Superman from my answer for the dash, the 100-yard
Since he
dash
can
or whatever.
fly.
Since he can fly, yeah. I don't think he runs fast. I think he just
I'm gonna go
flies fast.
bodybuilding or the like deadlift for Superman.
Oh,
I find
100%.
weightlifting. That's good. You only get one event.
Oh, they only
Each.
get
You only
okay.
get
So
one event.
they only get one event. So
Yeah.
once we pick something for them, they can't go in another
Yeah.
one.
You know what? I'd go Superman shot put, Hulk lifting.
Okay.
All right, that's fair enough. I would go the other way around just because I know for a fact. Either way, they're both winning gold. It doesn't
yeah,
matter.
it doesn't matter.
With Batman competing in
The X
the
Games.
guns.
Yeah,
He's
Batman,
shooting.
Batman really can't do anything. He would probably be like Taekwondo or something like that.
Yeah,
some
the
sort
judo.
Of martial
Okay.
art.
Yeah.
All right, you're right because I think they have judo and stuff. They also have actual wrestling.
Yeah, that's true. Is there any like wrestler superhero?
There was El Luchador, that show on Cartoon Network.
I don't consider that. Those were the dark ages. We don't talk about that.
Wasn't no, that was Mucha Lucha.
Yeah.
Mucha Lucha. Yes, I loved that
The
show.
masked like school of wrestlers. Do you remember that?
Huh?
Do you remember?
Remember
that?
Mucha Lucha?
No, I never really watched it. Mainly,
This is for all the
it
90s
was mainly
kids.
it was mainly the name that turned me off of it.
I think
Only 90s kids will remember Mucha Lucha.
I think it was like the same creative like Viva Pinata, like that time frame.
Viva Pinata gives me nightmares.
They had a 360 game that was just like farming.
So, what do you think would happen if in the Olympics if we finally find out like intelligent life visits us and they're just better at everything?
That would explain Usain Bolt.
Yeah, but like but like if like a giant saucer just lands and like
We
a
want to be in the
1950s movie,
Olympics.
Yeah.
and they come out and they're just like, oh, we want to be in this Olympics. I'm like, we can't. Yeah, it's just for us Earthlings. And they're like, why not? And they
Just made a rule that says.
yeah, they get gold in everything.
They all compete in every single game, too.
Yeah,
There's like 5 athletes. They just complete in every single one.
they're winning in basketball, and we're just like, how is this even? They don't even know the rules, and yet they're still beating us.
They don't even have a bench. There's 5 of them.
They're
Yeah.
psychic and they learn the rules like at the end of the first quarter. Okay, we got this.
Then in the first quarter, the score is 62, Team USA 0.
They're all 5'0". How are they dunking? Oh my goodness. To continue with your superhero thing, I would assume like see we've exhausted some of the other superheroes. I guess Wonder Woman would be for like the women's I would put her in the women's judo or Greco-Roman wrestling for women. I don't know if do women have the Greco-Roman wrestling in the Olympics?
I think they do.
If they do, I'd put Wonder Woman in that.
Is there any? Is there?
Or
Something
anything track and field for anything field for Wonder Woman. I'll just give her the high jump.
Is there any sport that's just inclusive to one sex?
For the Olympics?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think
Curling? Is curling?
No, curling has a women and men's team.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, everything I can think of really has both. I don't know if they have hockey. Do they have women's hockey in the Olympics? Oh, okay.
USA had a beautiful loss to Canada, being up like 2-1 with like 3 minutes
that's
left,
right.
and then
That's
lost 3-2.
right. Okay.
That was a heartbreaking.
Oh, I thought
thing.
you were meaning like that both men and women compete in.
At the
At
same
the same
time.
time?
That's
No,
what I thought you were
No,
talking
they
about.
do have co-ed like mixed doubles in tennis is man and woman.
Okay.
that's pretty cool. All right, well, who would you be your mixed doubles pairing for tennis?
Oh, I don't know. You're putting me on the spot here. I can't. I don't know anymore.
You know what? Forget about the field part. I'm putting Wonder Woman in there with
With her bracelets.
her just her
No tennis
bracelets.
racket. just deflect them back. Yeah, no one else I can.
I
pair
don't even
with
got
her.
a guy in there to put in there.
Mainly because what superpower would be useful in tennis?
That's why. Like, it needs to.
You also
You
gotta-
don't want to
yeah.
waste them.
You need power, but you also need like speed. Like you can't put
Fine, fuck
the
it.
you can't put the Hulk out there. You could just just
Throw
kinda
Robin out
underhand
there.
it.
Throw
Yeah,
Robin.
all right. Just throw Robin out there.
Give them
Throw-
something to do.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'll put
I
Robin
want
and
gold
Batgirl.
too, Batman.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Put Robin and Batgirl out there. I'm not even gonna waste Wonder Woman in there. I'm gonna let Wonder Woman do the decathlon.
You might be able to
Yeah.
put Catwoman out there.
You could put Catwoman out there, but I would put her in women's gymnastics.
I thought you were putting what's her name?
Women's gymnastics. Men's gymnastics was
That's
Spider-Man.
true.
With the
That's
penguin
true.
and the 4x4 relay.
So we're just like, what are we doing?
That was the last leg. That was the last leg of the race. Yeah.
Just let the Flash, Kid Flash, and or what is it? No, we'll
Oh,
give
it'd be 4 Flashes if I really. It would definitely be Flash, Kid Flash, Barry Allen Flash. I mean Bart Allen Flash, and then Impulse.
Are we really doing this right now?
Sorry.
The 9 different flashes.
There's
Each
like
of them gets
6.
their own event.
No, for the 4x4.
If you were doing the 4x100.
How would you be able to stop in time to hand it off? Wouldn't you just run right into the guy?
Not for them.
For them, everything moves slower for them.
Speed Force.
Oh my god.
Here.
Man, you wanted the answer.
I'll be
you
back.
got
I'll be
the
back
answer.
in 20 minutes.
Science magic. That's the answer.
You
Science
wanted-
magic.
You wanted the answer. You got it. They'd be
What
able
is
to
it?
stop in time.
The answer last week was science is the reason we die. The reason for the Speed Force is science magic.
I don't know.
So they'd be able to stop in time and handle off.
My knowledge of superheroes is so limited right now.
So it'd be like snap, 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 and then over. And other guys would be like, "Hey, can we test these guys for drugs?"
No.
And Russia would still probably be close anyway.
Because they're just pumping stuff into the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And for Team Russia, Bane.
Just
Like it starts and he just swings at the next guy.
What do you mean there's something in my system?
This is all natural. What are you talking about?
He's got the giant tanks on his back. He's like, what are you talking about? And they're like, dude, come on.
That's just Gatorade back there. I gotta stay hydrated.
This is nothing. This is my natural supplements.
Oh, with how commercialized the Olympics are, Titan would be like a sponsor.
Make sure you drink Titan. Don't worry, it's not what you think.
Performance enhancing everything.
Oh, you want to be 8 feet tall and jacked? Take Titan. All right, I think we've exhausted this topic.
I guess so. I mean, I thought Mike would have some more jokes. But, just,
I mean, we also completely
Well,
forgot.
don't put this on me,
Just
okay?
saying.
I wait for you to fall, and then
To
I
be fair,
pounce.
we also completely
I
forgot
look
about
for
Hawkeye
weakness.
for archery.
Hawkeye? I know it's the Green Arrow, didn't we?
No, we
I
weren't
didn't
going with
realize that.
Hawkeye because Hawkeye.
We'll let them go head to head.
All right, fine.
We'll let them go head to head and see
Well,
what happens.
Yeah, they get to compete to see who represents.
They have a team archery.
America.
There's a team archery thing too. So
Is there?
yeah.
There you
so
go.
there you go. You throw them both in that one.
Hawkeye's
who's
just
probably
someone's
gonna win.
friend they grew up with that they just feel like they have to include.
And would you? What about
Those good with bows.
Black Widow? Where would she be?
Oh.
Black Widow would probably be in something gymnastics wise.
Why do you keep giving her gymnastics?
Because they're all super like limber and athletic, and they jump off of stuff.
I'd give her like judo.
I was gonna say. she
Yes,
could do
all
the
right,
combat.
that's
Yeah,
actually
judo.
great. Judo is actually much
She could
better.
do the combat definitely.
Yeah. Like I said, Wonder Woman for the decathlon. I just give Captain America the male decathlon to
All
let
right.
him go.
All right, yeah, that's.
You have to shoot this. You already got all 5 targets. It's been 5 seconds.
Maybe Thor could be tennis. I'm thinking of this now. He paints a racket on his hammer and it's out of reach and he just throws it and then sticks out his hand and gets it back. They're just like, come on, how am I supposed to beat this guy?
Thank you. That'd be awesome.
All right, Thor and tennis.
I want to see Mr. Freeze play hockey.
Oh my!
Because he would just be like naked out there.
Oh my god, he would just be all his awful Schwarzenegger puns.
Time for you to freeze.
Just rolling
and they're
around.
off sides. Ha ha! Freeze.
That shot was pretty cool. It's like, come on, dude, it's 5-0. You've done this every time.
Anytime he hits someone, time to put you on ice.
I'm feeling pretty bored.
I love the penalty box. You need to chill. Chill. Just walks away. You're like, I can't wait to get out there and hit you.
He hits him again. At least ice is on that quickly.
Just ice puns.
The whole time.
All ice puns.
The whole time. The puck's about to go and he shoots it with the freeze ray.
Huh.
Not today. Even though that, I just wanted an actual Schwarzenegger pun, but I'll be back. If he gets sent to the penalty box, I'll be back.
He doesn't even keep with the Mr. Freeze. He just starts going with the Schwarzenegger, everything.
You got like a quick printout of every movie he's been in.
What are my favorite lines? I went German there real fast.
Yeah, it sounds like Torbjorn, I would
Yeah.
say, from Overwatch.
It's time to work. All right.
The most annoying character.
Screw that guy. 6 Torbjorns. Have you ever fought that before?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's awful.
They're like, how can I? They're like, it's easy counter. Just deflect. Use Genji and have him deflect. No,
Yeah,
that doesn't work when 6 of them are shooting at you.
you really need snipers for that, but even then, it's just lame. It's such a soft maneuver. But we did a 6 Roadhog, so I can't really complain anymore when people do lame stuff like that, because at least we've done it once. Just sit there and they can't hear you shake your head, Mike. I need some confirmation.
I got nothing to add right now. I'm going to be completely honest. You just got to go all Soldier 76 or Junkrat.
So we're still. I love Junkrat's my boy.
Yeah, he's kind of crack addict, though.
That's why I love him. I love Junkrat.
Junkrat's good at times. I think I have maybe 22,
Video games.
23 minutes of Junkrat.
I have like
Honestly.
10 to 12 hours of Junkrat. And then like 8 on Roadhog.
Somehow Roadhog's up there for me. It's definitely Farah, but
For those that don't know, we're talking about Overwatch.
Yeah, we'll move
Yeah,
on. from Overwatch.
it's a game.
It's a game that
It's a
is
game.
fun for the first hour, and then you're like, why am I still playing this? It's actually cancer.
Well,
And then you
because-
come back to it the next day.
Because it'll be in the X Games soon. It's
Is it
gonna be
really?
competitive. I don't know. I just know they want it competitive. We were talking about competitive gaming.
Yeah, because they put video games in the X Games. They'll
Yeah.
reject Olympics. I will 100% keep calling them the reject Olympics until someone proves me wrong. Because someone just goes like, no, they have BMX. Is it in the Olympics? No. Do they want it in the Olympics? Yes. Then is X Games are the reject Olympics.
Well, don't they got skateboarding in there?
That doesn't count. They also have rock climbing.
In the
Rock
Olympics?
climbing isn't even in the actual X Games. They just threw
Wait,
rock
wait,
climbing.
wait. Is it like real rock climbing, like on the side of a mountain, or are they the ones you see at like carnivals and stuff?
It's got to be like, I don't know how they're gonna like
what
do
the-
competitive
they're gonna
rock
fly 'em
climbing
to
for
a
the
mountain?
Olympics.
Huh?
They're gonna fly him to a mountain.
Well, they
Uh,
could.
they're gonna be in
if
Tokyo,
it's rock
so-
climbing.
They're gonna be in Japan. There's mountains in Japan.
If it's
Just
rock
have them
climbing.
climb up Mount Fuji or whatever. It's
You
called.
want you want the real thing though.
That guy on Trump Tower was actually trying out.
He's trying
our
out for-
Olympic rock climbing team.
Yes.
Well, I mean, you would want the actual thing. Could you imagine like, oh, I made the golf Olympic team. They just hand you like Rory McIlroy PGA Tour, and you're just like, what? This is what I'm doing? No, you want the actual thing. I think it should be on an actual mountain. Maybe you don't have to get all the way to the top of the mountain. I'm not a psychopath.
Well, they could also just go like, how I'm going to
Yeah, and how do you grade that?
climb as fast as possible. They just gotta. Everyone has. There's no way you can actually like race someone specifically unless you're doing that, like indoor rock climbing thing where you're both racing at the same time with the exact same path up the fake wall.
Mhm, And then what are your events? Do you have free climbing? As an
I would get
event?
Dr. Octopus for that.
No, Spider-Man. Where do you Spider-Man?
No, I'll use Dr.
I did
Doc
Spider-Man.
Ock.
You didn't do Spider-Man.
He has like 8 limbs. The dude's
Yeah, but
constantly moving.
But Spider-Man could just web up.
Yeah,
Done.
How you gonna web up a mountain?
Because he sticks to anything.
Yeah, but what if it comes
He could also
undone?
straight up just run
All
without
right,
even
then-
actually grabbing.
Then his
anything.
spider sense will activate and he'll web sling another one.
Oh my God.
Science.
Why am I doing this?
You wanted answers.
Why am I
and
doing
you don't like
this?
them. like the Flash and
This will
Speed
be my
Force.
last appearance on.
Speed Force. Speed Force answers everything for him.
All right. To continue with our sports theme, we're gonna cool it with the Olympics, even though that's ending on the 21st.
Are you keeping up with the Schwarzenegger puns with that one?
I wasn't, but I should have been. We're going to cool it with the. That was a great, like, solid minute of just puns, of ice puns.
Where's Eric? I need him for more puns.
Anyway,
Our friend with his puns.
I slapped myself pretty hard there, actually.
Yeah, I caught
So
it.
you want to talk about the Vegas team?
Yeah, so
Right.
let's keep going into sports. And the NHL recently acknowledged expansion for a 31st team to be placed in Las Vegas, outside of literally anywhere else in North America. So I know that you, I think, were Zach, because I'm just pointing. I'm like, you over there, guy that nobody can see me pointing to. You were opposed to putting any team in Las Vegas.
Yeah, in general. Just like not even hockey team. I don't care about hockey enough to be able to say, you guys shouldn't be doing that in your sport. Like, it's just don't put a team in Vegas and then expect people not to gamble on it in Vegas. And to me, that gives the fans an unfair advantage. And someone, I don't know, maybe someone in this room brought up a fair point about possibly players getting into trouble. Because
It
Las
only
Vegas.
happens.
Yeah,
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
I said it'll happen in the first year. There's a lot of players we don't even have to name that you can think of that can't stay out of trouble. They're constantly getting accusations and DWIs and you know.
I mean, just one that could be up for that relocation is Vander Kane.
Alden Smith had that Snapchat of him smoking weed and was like, they can't see my face. They don't know who this is. So who cares? It's like, what are you doing?
It's on your Snapchat.
Yeah, it's from it's an account that's already been associated with you multiple times. Like, why would you do anything like that?
But like I was talking with Zach about it. Like if you think about like if a team has a game in Vegas, let's say on Thursday night, and they don't have their next game till Sunday or let's say Saturday, you're giving them Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, in Vegas to pretty much do whatever they want.
They're pretty much giving them Thursday night and then most of Friday because they're probably traveling Friday night.
It depends where they're going.
It
If,
depe-
if
yeah.
they're if they're going to Phoenix, which is more likely, Phoenix, Anaheim, LA, a place that's not very far of a flight, they a lot of times they'll just stay there and stick around. They'll practice and they'll travel the night before. It happens. It happens a lot.
You're giving them all Thursday night and then all Friday morning.
Well, that's why I feel like a lot of coaches aren't going to do that. A lot of coaches are going to be like, all right, game's over. We're flying out tonight.
Yeah.
Because it would be the smartest
Knowing
thing to
some of
do.
my players, yeah, I would do that. If we still have Mike Richards and Jeff Carter on the Flyers, 100% I'm getting out of
Oh,
Dodge.
the Kings would be a disaster. if the 2013 Kings
Oh
were
my
around for this,
goodness.
oh man,
Get out of Dodge immediately.
just leave.
I mean, but I'm at the same time that I'm against putting a team in Vegas because I thought places like Quebec City deserve one. Seattle because God, they get screwed by franchises outside of the Seahawks,
Mariners.
the Mariners. You kind of forget they exist, honestly. The
Storm.
Mariners. Did you just?
So the Storm.
Is that a WNBA team?
Yeah. They're actually pretty good. Fuck you guys.
Can you? You have a button for applause. Do you have a button for crickets? Because we really need one for
my
Zach.
goodness.
No,
They also have
they're actually really good.
They also have the Seattle Sounders, who have technically one of the best men's soccer
The
players
MLS
in the
team?
world. Yeah. Clint Dempsey,
All right.
men's U.S. soccer players,
See?
not actual best soccer players
Yeah,
in the
there's
world. 'cause
about
Clint
50
Dempsey's like,
other ones that are pretty good.
probably 100,
Yeah.
and all of them are playing not here.
If he was good enough, he'd be in the Premier League.
Well, don't
Yeah.
they usually come over here to like retire, like for the
Yeah.
last 5
He's
years?
fairly
Really?
So-
So
old.
something also, just because I heard about this, apparently U.S. MLS teams, like there's specific rights of like foreign players that if they came over here, certain players would have their rights owned by a specific MLS team. Like Zlatan Ibrahimovic is owned by the Union. His rights are owned by the Union. If he comes over to the MLS, the Union have the rights to sign him first.
He wouldn't do that though.
Short thing, since you brought up MLS, and I do want to get back
Probably
to Las
not.
Vegas, and teams that actually deserve a sports team. Can New York stop getting 2 teams in every
Oh my
sport?
goodness.
It's ridiculous.
That
You
is the
don't need
most
2 teams in
aggravating
every
thing in the
sport.
world. So, what is it? Last year or this year was the inaugural for NYCFC, even though they already have the Red Bulls for MLS. So now they have how many? We'll just list the teams: Rangers, Islanders, Nets, Nets and Knicks, Giants and Jets. We're at 6 now.
Yankees.
Yankees and Mets.
Yankees and Mets. Now we're at 8. NYCFC and the Red Bulls. Now we're at 10.
I think it's because New York is such a divided city. It's weird. If you ever run into a lot of New York fans, they tend to always be on the same side. Like Yankees fans, the ones I've run into are typically Giants fans, and they're typically Knicks fans. And then you run into Islanders fans, usually Jets fans. So it's usually like the big budget teams people are fans of, or they're a fan of like the small budget teams. Like I know people that live around like Long Island and stuff are typically the Jets and the Islanders.
Well, yeah, because that's where they played on Long Island for the longest
Yeah.
time. Now they're in Brooklyn.
New York, I kind of understand because you take a place it's kind of like Los Angeles. Los Angeles has 2 teams for basketball, and it's because it's a very big
But for
city.
hockey too?
No.
Because hockey's not that big yet. But the Kings are getting bigger, but I don't think they'll get to a point where they need 2 teams. But it's
That would
when
also be 4 teams probably all playing in the Staples Center.
when you have these big teams. Going back to your Las Vegas thing, they were talking about before moving to Vegas. They were thinking of giving Toronto another team.
They did. I did hear about that. I don't agree with giving Toronto another team. You have so much history with the Maple Leafs. They don't need a second team. Other teams.
Wow, you want a second team in Toronto?
No, I was gonna say they don't have a first team.
They did. They had it when did they win their last cup?
Oh, I don't know.
15 years before 20 years before the Flyers won their first cup.
The 60s, and they still won't stop talking about it. They call them the golden ages.
Neither will anyone
back
else
when there were
about
like
the Flyers.
12 teams.
Nobody else will stop talking about it in reference to the Flyers.
But like going back to Vegas, the only thing I think it might be an issue is finding a dedicated fan base. From what I've seen, they've sold a lot of season tickets.
They have.
To local people, but the issue is going to be in a couple years down the road. Are you just
If you're not relevant.
Yeah, are you just going to be like, I don't know, Anaheim or Phoenix, where the Blackhawks are in town, and it's just Blackhawks fans that are buying these tickets.
Yeah.
Or is it-
Anaheim, I feel, has a more loyal fan base than Phoenix or Florida.
No,
Florida,
you have to see when Anaheim plays teams like Detroit, Pittsburgh, Chicago.
That's because those are all like either transplants or they're just the front running teams. You'll see.
Well,
everywhere.
yeah, but if in Vegas, I don't think if they're playing, Carolina, it's going to be bombarded with Carolina Hurricanes fans. But I do think that they're going to have a problem getting a dedicated fan base, and I think it sucks for Phoenix because Phoenix is right there, so that's affecting them. Their fan base is getting hit a little bit because Phoenix, I feel like the NHL kind of acknowledges that Phoenix is on its way out, even though they're a young team with a lot of good talent.
Are they really?
Yeah,
they have a lot of good talent for a young team, but the problem is they have no fan base.
Yeah,
at all.
they'll be good. They'll be really good in like 2 or 3 years because they've just been trading away their top guys for actual young guys that are going to be huge
and draft picks
So they've been doing the right thing. But the issue is that, will they get a dedicated fan base before these guys become these huge elite players, or are they just going to have to pretty much wait until they relocate to wherever they go, Quebec, and then have to start over again? Because that whole fan base has been, that whole team has been nothing but relocation. They were in Winnipeg before they came to Phoenix.
But if they move to Quebec City, that's another thing the NHL has to realize where they're putting the teams. They're putting a team in Vegas, so that's obviously going to be in the Western Conference. If they put another team in Quebec, they're going to have to realign all the divisions again. So you get 16 and 16. Right now it's 7. Right now it's what is it? 16 and 14. It's 16 in the East and 14 in the West. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's easier than doing 15 and 15, I guess.
I don't think it's that difficult because I know they moved Dallas from the Western Conference into like the what?
No, they're still in the West. They moved Detroit from West to East.
Okay, yeah, that was it.
And they broke up that historic rivalry with the Chicago Blackhawks, which made no sense
and
to me.
Colorado.
Yes,
they have everything with Colorado too. But if they could always take a team like right on the fringe there and move them.
They moved Columbus over too.
Yeah, because they moved Columbus, so that could always happen. I don't think it's that much of an issue. It's just if your issue is with them constantly realigning, that might be a problem. So it's one of those things you kind of just got to play it by ear and see what happens from it. But they still don't have a name yet.
They don't because they're having issues with the OHL because they wanted to make the Black Knights, but they were like, nah, London Knights is our thing, and we're like, calm down, guys.
I saw something that
calm down, Ontario Hockey League. You're not that important.
I saw an article that said they actually have a name, but their backup name is the Nighthawks, which I think would be horrible. You already have the Blackhawks. You can't have the Nighthawks.
No.
Why not?
Because you can't.
Nighthawks, Blackhawks, the Hawks versus the Hawks.
That would be an awful matchup.
Is there another Hawk team in the NHL?
No. There doesn't need to be another
maybe-
one.
no,
There's
there's-
one.
I
There's
just wanted
one.
to be like the Hawks.
I get it.
The
The
Hawks,
Blackhawks
Hawks.
aren't literal Hawks. It's
Yeah.
more of like a Native American type thing. But
it's not Redskin Native American type thing.
yeah. You don't want. Hey, here are the Chicago Blackhawks versus the Nighthawks, and you're just like, okay, well.
Another Hawk team.
I still want them to be like the Vegas Aces. I think is it's an awesome name, but the NHL's like, nope, we can't have anything to do with gambling in Las Vegas.
It's like we're all adults here. We
Yeah,
know
I'm
what
like,
they
what do you-
do.
what
I mean, I like the Black Knights because it was like, okay, like Blackjack and Knights, but Knights with a K because you're obviously can't be like, oh no, they're outside at night or whatever they were going for there. But the Aces, that's another good one. The Scorpions because they're in the middle of the damn desert. That's
I saw
just
one.
random ones that I've seen. I also saw Hockey McHockeyface as a team name, and I was in love with that one. I also saw Harambe's Heroes, and I was pretty cool with that one too.
I've heard some crazy ones. I've heard like the Vegas Flamingos. I actually saw like a logo someone designed for that. That was apparently like a name. The best one I've seen other than the Aces I like is the Night Owls. I thought that was a really cool
That's
name.
a cool one.
But at the same time, someone brought up the point of wouldn't they used to be called the Owls? Like, is that compared to the day owls that don't exist? I got to give someone on someone on Reddit had that comment. I thought it was pretty funny. But
What about other teams in Vegas? Like, do you see this? If the NHL does decently well in the next 2 years, can you see, like, the Raiders moving to Vegas? Can you see an
Maybe not the
expansion?
Raiders, but I
maybe
could
just
see
an
a football
expansion
team.
team.
I
on
could
there.
definitely see a football. I know I could definitely see the Raiders.
I think the Raiders.
Well, I don't think the
they wanna
NHL.
stay where
I
they
don't think the NFL is going to expand unless they do that stupid London thing, that European League
are. That's stupid.
division
That's
or whatever.
ridiculous.
That would be
That's-
crazy.
They're talking about
We
it.
already
They're
talked about
really
that,
trying.
didn't
We talked about that like personally. We didn't talk about that on
okay.
here,
Oh.
and we actually got quite a bit of time to kill,
But
so
Vegas,
we can
Vegas,
jump into that.
Vegas itself does have a big dedicated fan. Like, look at the UFC. They have fights there where they sell out in.
Is the fight tonight there?
Yeah, that's a Diaz McGregor.
That
fight.
I'm watching that one.
Yeah, me too.
for
But
sure.
that kind of stuff's huge. They get tons of people that come in from whenever McGregor fights. They have people flying from Ireland just to see this guy fight. For when he fought Aldo, 13 seconds. The dude, you flew halfway around the world to watch a dude knock another man out in 13 seconds, and that's.
Did McGregor won that, right?
Yeah. But you look at that, and that's a dedicated fan base. If people are flying in to see that, who's to stop someone from just going, "Hey, let's go to Vegas for the weekend"? The Hawks are playing.
Such a hockey game.
Yeah, the Hawks are playing whatever team to be named, the Vegas whatever.
Oh, you'll get also people that are like fans of the sport that are go, hey, there's a new team, let's check out their stadium.
Yeah, exactly.
Because because I've been to so many hockey games, I've been to so many sports games just in this area. I think I go to at least 2 to 3 hockey games a year in Philly, but I want to go to more games outside. So I went to the Prudential Center with my cousin because he's a big Devils fan, and I got him as a graduation gift. And we went up there, and their stadium, it's a completely different atmosphere. It's so lax.
Doesn't it feel so small compared to Wachovia?
Yes, it feels so
or the Wells
small.
Fargo. I went there.
No, you're talking the Core State Center.
What?
That's what the original name was called. It was Core State.
Of what?
Of the Wells Fargo.
Wells Fargo?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, what an
That was
awful name.
like because Core State was bought by First Union, which was bought by Wachovia, which
This
was
is
bought by
just-
Wells Fargo.
This is just a nonsense. How about you don't name it after a bank? You don't have to change it. Well, did you see the Red Wings? For a while, it's been
Joe Louis
what is-
Arena.
Yeah, they're changing it to Little Caesars Palace or something like that.
Why?
That makes no sense.
But don't add a franchise like to your name. That's so.
Joe Louis Arena was
This
it was
looks
it was named Joe Louis Arena for a reason. For a reason based on the actual I don't remember who it was because I'm not a Red Wings
You're
fan.
racist.
Damn it. But Joe Louis Arena was named that way for a reason. Now you're gonna sell out to corporate America.
Yeah, at least if
Wake up, sheeple.
you're gonna be a company, buy it, but just keep the name when it has like.
I would just blanket that crap
historical-
with advertisements, but
Well,
yeah.
what's their name? Did the
Change the wallpaper in the bathroom.
Yankee Stadium did that. Yankee Stadium had a ton of bids for people to rename the new stadium. They were just like, nah. The Cowboys were going to do it too, but they kind of caved. They were just going to do Cowboy Stadium before who bought it?
AT&T.
AT&T.
Yeah, so I mean, it happens.
They pay for that gigantic HD TV.
I mean, the
somehow.
Vet was just the Vet. It was just Veteran Stadium. They never. I don't think it was any other name as far as I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be called Little Caesars Arena. I just want to double check so I
But
don't
if
sound like a
the-
psychopath.
If the
I'm wrong.
link changed.
Can you actually look up who
names-
Joe Louis was? Because I'm losing my mind now.
What?
Joe Louis. Because there was a reason it was named Joe Louis Arena.
Joe Louis was a boxer,
Okay.
I think.
Had something to do with
You
the
know what?
Do I
My
have to look
dad
that
might
up
have said
too?
that.
So I don't
might
sound
have to
Honestly,
look
my
up.
dad may have said that before. I think you're right.
Yeah, I think Joe Louis was like a big boxer
in
back the
Detroit.
day.
But still, it's named for a reason after Detroit, not because you make a pizza in 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, not because
Make
he's
a
the,
crappy pizza in
the
5 minutes.
architect who made it and was like, I'm gonna put my name on this thing, and it just stuck and nobody changed it.
But all right, outside of hockey and football, could you see a baseball or basketball team in Vegas? I mean, baseball. I feel
Baseball would be all like, you can't gamble on the game, but here's FanDuel.
Here's the thing. I think
yeah,
Vegas,
baseball would be a big enigma. So I don't know about that.
Vegas is more of a very fast-paced place. Oh, let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go here. It's good for hockey. It's good for football. I think baseball is like too slow. I don't. Think
Basketball
that,
could
I don't
work
think
out.
that would catch on
I-
with a Vegas crowd.
I wasn't tracking what you were saying at first, and I thought you were saying that baseball was a fast-paced thing, and you were saying, let's
No,
go here.
no.
I was like, have you seen baseball for like an inning?
But I was just saying that football. You got hockey, but I think that would work because those sports are 2.5 hours. Then you got baseball. You're dedicating 3.5, 4 hours.
Well, hockey is about 2.5 hours. You're right about that. Football is about 3 hours and change.
Yeah.
But basketball, same thing, about 2.5 hours. You could probably get basketball in there because that is back and forth, and you could use the same arena you're using hockey for.
I don't see basketball just because I don't think the league would let it. I think the league would kind of want to keep it away.
Oh, yeah, no. If you're having problems with some hockey players
Yeah.
going out to Vegas clubs on their days off. You think J.R. Smith would last on a Las Vegas team?
Oh my goodness,
No.
no. Yeah,
No,
yeah,
it's
basketball's
just-
probably not getting a Vegas
There would
team.
be so many quote incidents. A player got into a quote incident, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
What was the
could
incident?
be A, B, or C.
No.
It was either a stripper.
The Cavs just
Betting.
forget J.R. Smith's ticket. Like, I don't know what happened. You know what? We don't need you. Just stay here. Work on your jump shot. We'll be back in like 2 days. All right, lock the door. There's food in the fridge.
There was a problem with your visa, but I'm an American. Problems, visa.
You're breaking up. Just,
Crackling
I'm
paper.
going through a tunnel. I'm looking at you right now.
Can you see me now? Under the table. They're across the desk from each other. All right. So you had I feel like to end our show today, you had a nice, fun, lighthearted topic. The past like half hour's been lighthearted.
I don't know what it's gonna be.
I-
So like, it may
I
not
don't
be
know if
that.
it's gonna be
It may be
lighthearted.
horrific. Honestly,
It
I have
could
no
be.
idea.
And now I'm kind of scared.
Yeah, you should be.
You set this. You set this in motion. So
Okay. let's
okay.
go.
Okay, so
All right.
we're
So I
yeah.
have 3 headlines right here. One of them's real. The other 2 are completely made up by me, because I'm kind of a psycho. So
Oh, no.
so here we go. Here are the
This
headlines.
isn't gonna be fun.
One of them's real. 2 of them are fake. First headline: PETA seeks memorial to chickens killed in highway crash. That's the first headline. The second one is man arrested for breaking into 24-hour McDonald's. Or the third one is ISIS soldiers in Syria punished for playing Pokemon Go.
It's actually
They
that
all
PETA
sound
one.
real.
It's that PETA
It's
one.
the I think
It's
the PETA one's
one,
real too.
right?
PETA one?
The PETA one, I think that's real.
Okay, well, you're right. It was the PETA
I
one.
feel like it
which
was
I was
makes
gonna
me,
say, I think I
which
remember
makes me
seeing
feel
that.
makes me feel like I suck at this thing.
No, the ISIS one for Pokemon Go actually sounded real.
Yeah.
The 24-hour McDonald's one, I was like, that happens all the time. But it's 24 hours, so
I
I don't know if
actually-
you can break in there.
I actually looked it up to see if that was something that happened, and I couldn't find an article on it. The breaking, I would have thought it would have happened, but I couldn't find anything. Maybe there's one out there I just don't know about. But pretty much, PETA sent a letter to the Stanislaus County Department of Public Works approving to erect a 5-foot-tall tombstone memorial at the scene of a big rig crash. And they want they want it to say, in memory of the chickens who suffered and died at this spot, try vegan. And then with PETA's name at the bottom. And it is a picture of the most somber looking chicken. They designed this. They designed that. And it has the most depressed looking chicken I have ever seen in my.
It just starts playing.
It just shows chickens and they're just all sad with tears running down.
Oh my goodness.
But it was I
There's
was
another place that I just can't stand them.
This is Foghorn
yeah,
Leghorn.
they want it erected on the actual spot where the crash happened.
Like on the highway? Like the middle of the road?
They want it erected where the crash happened because apparently it crashed and all the chickens, like a couple chickens fell out the back and died. And
Oh,
they,
boo-hoo.
and the guys just kind of picked them up and threw them back in the truck. And PETA and someone who was like passing by like filmed the whole thing
That's gross.
and then told PETA, and PETA was just
Why is
like,
the first thing you tell? Like the police, the FDA? You tell PETA?
yeah, like what do you want them to do? Like, okay, a mistake happened. Like, but realistically, it's just, and people, you see people do it all the time. It's not just PETA, where people try and push their own political agenda when something happens. They look for something and they ask themselves, how can I tie this into my own agenda? And then they try and force it. So they just saw this as an example to, hey, push forward veganism. And they even want it, it's not just about the chickens. At the bottom of it, they want it written, try vegan.
Yeah,
So-
that's so pushy. Push your own
Send me that
ideals
picture because
on
I'm gonna
the-
put that up while we're talking about this,
push
like
your
in
own
the
ideals
on the video.
everyone.
Yeah, I'll
to-
text you the link for it. It's
That's just ridiculous.
Eat, don't eat meat. Don't eat delicious steaks or burgers.
yeah, exactly. It's
Eat this kale and wheat chips.
wheat chips,
Wheat chips.
tofurkey.
Yeah.
We need some
It
tofurkey.
tastes like it. I mean, it's not it, but I'm sure it tastes like it. It's like, yeah, why don't I just eat the actual food? I actually had a discussion like this with my sister because she was talking about how someone said alligator tastes a little bit like lobster. And it's like, okay, I know what lobster tastes like, and I've had lobster. If I want lobster, guess what? I'm going to eat lobster. Like, people say, oh, it tastes like just like chicken. And it's like owl meat. And you're like, yeah, I'll just eat a chicken. I don't need to eat some weird, strange animal because it's there.
What do you think is the line we draw on what we eat and what we don't?
Right about in between horse and rabbit.
Good-
I
No,
think
no,
that
I mean
thing you said earlier.
I-
The eyes.
the eyes.
I think it's the eyes thing.
No, I think it's how intelligent they are. We don't feel bad about, we don't see personality in cows and chickens. Some people do that, like, own them. They actually said, like, yeah, they have personalities. Some of them are, make a lot of noise. Some of them are very, like, social around with the other ones. Other ones stay isolated from the other ones. They're kind of like people. But if you look at a dog definitely has a personality. If you've seen a dog or a cat, they have their own. And then, of course, monkeys and gorillas and stuff, they have their own personality, kind of. And I think that's why we feel bad if we kill them. We don't feel bad for a deer because we don't see a deer as having a personality. We kind of just like, there's a deer, let's shoot it and eat it.
Here's a, I don't know if it's made by PETA, but it's a picture of all animals want to live. Where do you draw the line? Pet food. I draw the line, I wrap it around the rabbit, over the horse, and then over to everything else.
I think
Yeah.
it goes with how easily we can breed them too.
I mean, rabbits, you don't got to try. They just kind of breed themselves.
Yeah, and people eat rabbit.
Chicken, I personally love rabbit. Rabbit
Yeah.
is very good. I don't think about eating a horse because they're pretty much all muscle. And, wouldn't really want to eat a horse. Don't really care that
so
much.
hungry I can eat a horse.
That is a saying.
That is a saying. But, like chickens, cows, definitely thought that was a cat, but that's a pig. And duck, I mean,
If I had duck,
yeah, you made duck once. You didn't. It was okay.
I liked it, but okay.
I didn't.
You don't like sauces either.
It depends on the sauce. You just threw like a gallon of soy sauce on and we're like, done.
A gallon of soy sauce. You don't like give me one sauce you like.
Cheese sauce.
That's not a
Is that not a
sauce.
sauce?
I
That's
win.
cheese.
I don't think so, no. When
That's
I go,
cheese.
I feel like that's part of it. Like, I don't feel like that's an addition. When I go to Chickies and Pete's and I get their
crab fries?
Their crab fries, it comes with the cheese. If you don't get the cheese, I don't know what's wrong with you.
I used to not like the cheese, but now I'm like, I can't, like,
How dare you? Who are you?
I used to.
Who
I
are
love
you?
it now.
Why am I here?
How did I get here?
Yeah. Is there any sauce you're not into at all?
Barbecue sauce.
I know I like barbecue sauce.
What kind of barbecue sauce?
Mesquite. I'm not a huge fan of like honey barbecue, but like the mesquite ones, the ones
Okay.
you,
Next time we go to Mission Barbecue, I want you to try all those barbecue sauce on the table and tell me.
no,
which one you
because some
like.
of them are spicy.
No, they're not. They're just barbecue sauce.
Barbecue
that are
sauce is not
delicious.
that
I'm not a
spicy.
big fan. I can't do any spicy. Like taquitos are as spicy as I can go.
That's whatever. But I'm saying you always when you get sauces, you're like you didn't like mustard.
I don't like mustard.
You don't like ketchup on
Nope,
things.
that's weird.
Mustard on a hot dog or a burger? Ooh,
You didn't like.
spicy
Before you
mustard.
didn't
Ketchup
like
is
barbecue
weird because
sauce on
ketchup is
things?
basically tomatoes but somehow sweet. I don't like that. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I have very unpopular views of ketchup. I think ketchup is just tomato paste with sugar.
Yes, I
I
don't
feel
like
like
that.
it's-
Why is there sugar?
It eliminates the flavor of whatever it is you're eating.
Yes.
Oh, hey, I want it with my hot dogs, and it's like you don't taste the hot dogs. It's like, it's literally just smashed tomatoes with sugar, with a bit of hot dog in it.
I can eat mayo sometimes when it's mixed in with stuff. I can't
I
eat
can't
it
do
straight as
mayo.
a spread. Like I've had like
I'm fine
chicken
with mayo.
where it's like breadcrumbs and mayo as like the thing that's holding it on, and when it's baked, you don't really taste it, you don't notice it. But like
Okay.
I had recently, I was tricked because she didn't tell me. My cousin made a sandwich with turkey and ham, but put mayo on it, and it was on a Hawaiian bun. So I thought like that weird taste is just the Hawaiian bun. Now if it was mayonnaise, and I ate like the whole thing, and then found out there was mayonnaise on it, and like couldn't finish the damn sandwich. I was like 2 bites away, and I just couldn't do it.
Mayo's gross.
Yeah. Isn't it just eggs with like?
Eggs and vinegar. That's a mix. Of
That's
that.
why. Because I can't eat hard-boiled eggs either.
I think we
We
should
went completely off the
I think we
rails
should
right
erect
now.
a memorial for all those chickens that were put into mayo.
Yeah. I mean, if you got, we could make this off the rails instead of float your boat.
I don't.
The way you're starting every podcast, I think that's a wise choice.
Yeah.
Off the rails.
It crashes.
So
You have to rebuild it.
I guess we'll call this. I guess it's gonna be called Off the Rails from now on. Is that okay with everyone?
Float your
We're
boat
making
off the rails. Okay.
float your boat or off the
We would have
rails.
been canceled 7 times by CBS
Oh, yeah.
If we
We're
tried to pitch
we're
it-
making life-changing decisions during the podcast right now.
Like, so what's your show called now? Oh, we changed the name actually
Again.
yesterday. Is the plot different too? A little bit. Listen,
We
This is
changed
what we
the
did.
first podcast we did. Well, first of all, each podcast that we've done, we haven't picked a name before the show starts.
No.
We haven't picked a name before the show starts. Then we decide, you know what? We'll come up with a name in the middle of the show. Came up with the name, went with it for 2 days, and we're like, nah, don't like it anymore, and changed it.
well, because it was just like I said, we just talked sports.
It was, and dudes talking
eventually-
sports didn't make sense.
Eventually, it just got to like too much sports. But
Yeah.
it wasn't like when we talk sports, we'll do like some hypotheticals, and then go into like how some maybe what a person did.
By the way, everyone's already tuned out of the show by now.
because I went to sports.
No,
Could-
because we just
could
stopped talking. We
extend-
just started talking about like our own random
Yeah,
crap
but
here.
it could extend out towards how it affects other people,
Mhm.
like an impact it could possibly have.
Instead of
not
just
just-
going,
240 yards, 3 touchdowns. How'd you think he did? Oh, I think he did well. You know,
you did sports things.
maybe sometimes you might want to shoot for 250, but his completion percentage was high. I think he saw all of his receivers. He made good reads. He checked it down when he needed to check it down. He threw it deep when he needed to throw it deep. I mean, you can't ask for much more when it's your third game of the season. And you're playing a team that won 12 games last year. I mean, they had a top 5 defense. They were great against the run. They were great against the pass. You mean they know how to cover everything. I love that you're doing this, by the way. They know-
Oh, what sticks come sail away? This is amazing.
I'm
Oh,
like,
it fits with the theme of
guy
of
accepting his
float your boat.
award. They just
I was-
turn his
I
mic
was-
down, and the band starts playing.
I was gonna do the horrible sports caller
What?
with the trades. Dave in Pennsylvania. Dave, you're on. Dave, turn your radio down. I was thinking Tom Brady would be a
Oh, my
good
goodness.
Arizona Cardinal one day. What do you think of that? And he just
So,
has to
I
actually turn
think-
it into substance.
I think that's going to end it for today. Thank you for tuning in. As always, I'm Matt Santorelli, joined by me, Zach Kane, Mike Dobbins. We are going to actually
Don't
be
let the
posting this
government
stuff.
take your guns away.
We're also going to be posting this.
Don't let
I'm
them-
muting him. He's done. He's off. His mic's muted.
They're trying to silence me.
Make sure you hit that subscribe button for all this new content. Have a great day.